Let's get started with our first news. UFC 314 has wrapped up and the reactions are rolling in. What are your thoughts on the card? Before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. Let's talk about the co-main event between Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett. Before the fight, Conor McGregor revealed that he bet $500,000 on Chandler knocking out Paddy. He said, "I'm interested in Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. I'm going to go with Chandler to win and win by KO." Although Paddy had improved in his last few outings, Conor still favored Chandler. He hyped it up, saying, "Let's go, boys." Well, it looks like Conor lost that bet. Paddy Pimblett dominated Michael Chandler and beat him by TKO in round 3. Paddy opened up a cut on Chandler's face and brutally punished him with relentless ground and pound until the referee stopped the fight. Chandler left the cage early and headed to the back before the result was even announced. Here's what the MMA community had to say about the fight. "Bro, chill out, Paddy. Charles is not going to fight you. Chandler coming off 16 losses. Great performance, but chill. Islam has a new contender now. Dustin and Charles, when they see Paddy elbow him in the back of the head. Paddy versus Topuria, finally. Paddy versus Arman, I love it. Paddy the baddie, congrats on the win. That was a great performance. You did that. Paddy versus Oliveira, book it. Pimblett is legit. I didn't think it at first, but he's proven myself and many others wrong. Michael Chandler sucks. Great performance. Pimblett, superb, well done. The baddie handled him. Paddy did his damn thing. Pimblett just produced the most convincing statement victory of his career, an absolute masterclass. It's crazy to see someone with accolades like Chandler not even know how to put in hooks properly. Holy smokes, someone tweeted. Another person joked, yeah, Conor didn't want to fight Paddy. I'm about to order a Paddy wig right now. Pimblett versus Gaethje is the fight. Paddy beat Chandler everywhere and ate his biggest shot. Paddy is now ready for the elite at lightweight. What an incredible performance by Paddy Pimblett. Most fans didn't expect that. Paddy busted up Chandler bad and finished him easier than Charles Oliveira ever could. Insane improvements from the baddie. Let's move on to the next story. And then this one is straight up wild. Kamaru Usman is pointing fingers at Henry Cejudo, blaming him, at least partially, for getting his UFC championship belt stolen. Yeah, you heard that right. The former double champ had a week that can only be described as chaotic. And now he's finally broken his silence. In just a matter of days, Henry Cejudo found himself in the middle of two insane situations. First, he literally confronted a hit-and-run driver. Then, as if that wasn't enough, his UFC championship belt was stolen from his own home. Here's what happened. It all started when a car crashed into the house of one of Henry's close friends. The impact was heavy and the driver tried to flee the scene, but Henry and the homeowner didn't let it slide. They reacted immediately. According to Cejudo, he chased the suspect down, physically detained him, and held him there until the police arrived. Cejudo said he had to ground and restrain the man to prevent him from escaping, and he did it all barehanded. To make matters worse, this crash happened just moments after a neighborhood block party, and with children playing outside. If the timing had been different, things could have been tragic. The damage was bad, but thankfully, no one got hurt. But that's not where the story ends. Only a few days later, Henry Cejudo's UFC championship belt was stolen from his home. The timing couldn't have been worse. And Kamaru Usman believes Henry kind of brought it on himself. Usman spoke out and said, "You let people know where you live. You interviewed your neighbors. You put them on camera. You made yourself the face of that story. That's how people found out where you stay." Basically, Usman's saying Henry unintentionally broadcasted his location to the world, and someone took advantage of it. And it gets even crazier. Henry's producer, Dylan Rush, was actually asleep inside the home when the theft occurred. He later explained, "The studio's connected to Henry's house, but there's no inside entrance. That night I said goodbye to Henry, then quietly walked into the studio without telling him. I saw someone near the door but assumed it was Henry. I was half asleep, so I didn't even process it. By the time Dylan realized something was off, the belt was gone." Absolutely insane series of events. Hit and run drama, a bold theft, and now finger pointing from another UFC legend. What a week for Triple C. Next up, things got tense at UFC 314 as Israel Adesanya ran into none other than Plessis just hours before the event kicked off. It was an unexpected and heated face-off that sent shockwaves through the MMA community. Adesanya was in town to support his longtime teammate Alex Volkanovski, who was scheduled to go to war against Diego Lopez. But it wasn't just about Volk that night, because Plessis was also in the building, and when these two rivals crossed paths, it was like the air shifted. Everyone's eyes locked in on the moment. No cameras, no microphones, just raw tension between two men with unfinished business. And both Adesanya and Plessis later spoke out about exactly what went down. Adesanya revealed, "I looked him dead in the eyes and said, when we see each other again, I'll try and kill you." Plessis didn't flinch. His response, "I'll try and kill you too." Simple. Director, chilling. Adesanya then opened up about his mindset. "Look, I don't like street fights. I'm not a fan of unnecessary confrontation, but if you bring the problem to me, I'll solve the problem." Plessis wasn't backing down either. He fired back in a post-fight interview saying he'll never get what he once had. He's no longer focused on what's happening inside the cage. Now he's caught up in what's going on outside of it. That comment hit deep because since their last encounter in the octagon, it's been a tough road for Adesanya. The last time they fought, it started out competitive, but then Dricus flipped the switch and did the unthinkable. He finished Adesanya and shocked the entire world. Since then, Izzy has admitted that he's not the same and that he may never fully regain what he once had. But in that backstage moment at UFC 314, with emotions boiling and the past lingering like a shadow, Adesanya let his raw passion speak. He looked Plessis right in the eye and told him, "I'll kill you in the rematch." No hype, no cameras, just truth. This rivalry is far from over. In fact, it's just getting started again. And when these two finally meet inside the cage once more, it won't just be about gold, it'll be personal. Now let's dive into the reactions from Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett after Conor McGregor broke his silence. Just yesterday, Conor posted new footage of himself hitting pads on X, and he threw in a little teaser in the caption, "I'm interested in the Chandler-Pimblett fight this weekend." It was enough to get the MMA world buzzing, because when McGregor shows interest, you know something's brewing. Michael Chandler wasted no time responding. He acknowledged it, but also threw in a challenge. "I'm sure he's watching," Chandler said. "He's always watching. He's interested in coming back, sure. But can he actually put together a training camp? That's the real question. We don't know." And that wasn't all. Chandler made it very clear where he stands. "All I know is, I stay active. I fought Charles Oliveira back in November, and now, just 5 months later, I'm stepping back into the cage. I don't wait around." Then Chandler really laid it out. "Paddy Pimblett, I'm putting my ranking on the line. I'm going into the unknown, but I'm fighting. My first 26 months in the UFC, I weighed in 6 times, fought 5, had fight of the night, fight of the year, debut of the year, knockout of the year. I do this for you, and I'll do it again this Saturday night." When asked directly about Conor's tweet, Chandler didn't hold back. "I don't care. If he wants to fight, sign the contract. Until then, I'm not chasing ghosts." Meanwhile, Paddy Pimblett also gave his thoughts on Conor's surprise message. "Yeah, I saw it," Pimblett said. "A few people sent it to me right away." His tone, calm but focused. "I welcome that fight. That's where the money's at. Of course I'd want it. Who wouldn't want to share the octagon with McGregor? But I can't look past Chandler. That's a dangerous man. I've got to beat him first. That's all that matters right now." Paddy kept it real. No trash talk, just respect for the moment. As the weekend approaches, all eyes are now locked on Chandler versus Pimblett. But McGregor's shadow looms larger than ever. Will the winner get the money fight next? Only time will tell. Next up, let's talk about the sudden back and forth between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev. A tension that's starting to build up fast. Earlier today, Alex Pereira took to Instagram with a cryptic yet powerful post. He shared a photo of himself meditating in nature, surrounded by stones, wearing traditional gear, and captioned it, "Recharging my warrior spirit with the energy of my ancestors." That's classic Pereira. Spiritual, intense, and always focused on something beyond the surface. Fans flooded the comments, with many calling him a true warrior and saying it looked like the calm before the storm. But then, things got interesting. Magomed Ankalaev didn't just scroll past it, he responded directly, firing back with a short but sharp message. "I told you, that's not going to work with me." No emojis, no fluff, just a straight up warning. And that's the thing, Ankalaev isn't buying into the mind games, the mysticism, or the psychological warfare Pereira likes to lean into. He's sending a message that he's not impressed, and more importantly, not intimidated. This is starting to feel like the opening moves of a much bigger rivalry. Alex has made it clear in past interviews that he draws strength from his heritage, his spirituality, and the rituals that keep him mentally sharp. It's a huge part of his identity, both in and out of the octagon. But Ankalaev, he's all about logic, pressure, and power. A grinder, a strategist, and he's calling out the idea that any sort of energy or spiritual edge will work against him. Whether or not a fight between these two is officially on the books, the fire is already lit, and if they do clash, it'll be a battle of philosophies as much as fists. Spirit versus strength, tradition versus technique. Stay tuned, this one's getting personal. Let's move on. Paddy Pimblett just dropped a big statement, and it's already got fans buzzing. After all the hype heading into this weekend's showdown with Michael Chandler, Paddy is already looking at what comes next, and his target, none other than Charles Oliveira. Paddy didn't hold back when speaking with Pavel Verbovec in a pre-fight interview. The confidence was clear. He said, "After beating Chandler, I'll fight anyone in the top 5, but out of all of them, I'd probably want Charles. He's a legend. He defended the belt twice, beat Dustin, Justin, Chandler. I think he beat Arman too, even though people call it a lucky decision." Pimblett also praised Oliveira's ground game, which is widely regarded as one of the best in UFC history. But instead of being intimidated, Paddy seems excited by the challenge. He said, "And people say Charles is the best submission artist in UFC history. I'd love to go out there and submit him." It's a bold call out, but it's also classic Pimblett. Confident, ambitious, and never afraid to speak his mind. A win over Chandler would certainly raise Paddy's stock, and while some might think a fight with Oliveira is premature, Pimblett seems laser focused on climbing the ranks quickly. Meanwhile, Michael Chandler also opened up about his own future. Regardless of the outcome this weekend, Chandler knows the division is stacked with big names, and he's not short on ideas for what comes next. He said, "There's no shortage of potential opponents, from Conor McGregor to Max Holloway. I'd love a title shot, Islam or whoever has it, but that may not be realistic." He continued, "Max for the BMF belt, welcoming Topuria to the division, a rematch with Gaethje, all great options. Too many great options, and all of them are exciting for the fans. Whether it's Paddy calling out legends or Chandler lining up possible mega fights, this division is on fire, and after this weekend, it's only going to get hotter. One thing is clear, whoever wins between Chandler and Pimblett is going to shake up the entire lightweight picture, and with names like Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev, Max Holloway, and Conor McGregor floating around, this is just the beginning. Last story of the day, and it's a big one. Volkanovski believes Ilia Topuria has what it takes to beat Islam Makhachev. In a recent sit-down with Daniel Cormier, the former featherweight champ broke down exactly how Topuria could pull off what many consider impossible. Volk said, "If Islam loses, it'll be because someone catches him early, and Ilia might be the guy to do it." He praised Topuria's crisp boxing, explosive power, and lightning-fast hands. A nightmare combo for anyone who needs time to get going. According to Volk, the first round or two is where Ilia's at his most dangerous. If you're gonna beat Islam, you gotta hurt him before he gets to work. Ilia has the tools. He's got the timing, the speed, the power, and his takedown defense is improving too. And Volk isn't wrong. Topuria's latest performance against Max Holloway left fans and fighters stunned. If he can bring that same level of precision and violence into a fight with Islam, it changes everything. Now, of course, in over 25 minutes, Islam is still the favorite. His grappling, his cardio, his control, it's a grind. But that early danger, that one big shot, Volk thinks Topuria can land it. There is a size difference, sure. Makhachev is a big lightweight, but Volk pointed out, Ilia's not just strong, he's explosive, he's accurate. That's how upsets happen. But here's where things get even more interesting. What if Islam moves up to welterweight, and Charles Oliveira ends up fighting Ilia Topuria? Now we're talking pure chaos.